Hey CrossFit OKC, it's Jason Bogue here. I'm here with Carl Klotz today. We're going to go over the thruster. We have this kind of for a strength exercise this month, and so we wanted to cue you guys in on a couple points and show you how the exercise is supposed to be done and hopefully answer any questions that you may have about it. So Carl's going to hand off the camera to me here, and I'm going to spin around and film Carl. So Carl's taking the bar out of the rack. You guys can use a rack if you have one handy. He's got a secure rack position, so the elbows are up. He looks like he's about to do a front squat. He's going to do a couple reps here for us. Good. All right, Carl, go ahead and set the bar on the ground now. So that was a couple reps from the rack. If you guys have a rack, you can use that. Or, big boys and girls, go from a power clean from the floor up into that rack position, and then you can thruster from that. So notice Carl, when he gets overhead, everything is lined up straight. Good. So follow me this way, gang. So, thruster, just to talk about the movement a little bit, front squat and a push press. So we've got two movements combined together. So we want to think about kind of when's appropriate to be doing one versus doing the other. We don't want to be trying to push press when we're still front squatting. We don't want to front squat when we're still push pressing. Obviously, that's pretty simple. So, as you front squat, as we start this movement, just like Carl had, you want to have a secure rack position. So that means those elbows are going to be up, and it's going to help secure that bar on your body. Okay? We want a deep upright squat, so we want to keep the feet solidly on the ground, kind of weight in the heels sort of a situation, but not throwing the butt back so your shoulders come forward. It makes it very hard to hold that bar on your body. So upright squat. Other thing you want to think about during that front squat is keeping a really tight belly. As soon as your midsection goes, it's a lot harder to stand up out of that squat. So, on the push press, as you come out of that squat, you're going to aggressively extend those hips. So aggressive hip extension at the top. And if you saw Carl there in the video, his hips were snapping open at the top, giving him a lot of momentum behind the bar, so it helped him get that bar overhead. You're going to punch the weight overhead. Right after those hips go, you're going to aggressively punch that bar overhead and kind of think about taking those biceps to the ears. So that puts that arm up next to your head. Make sure the weight's overhead and not out in front. Last thing, you're going to keep that butt tight and thighs tight when you finish. So as you get overhead, we want to kind of avoid, if we can get me in frame here, avoid this situation where the chest is stuck out, the rib cage is compromised, and so are the hips. This is really hard in the lower back. So when you guys get overhead, you're going to tuck your butt tight, thighs tight, rib cage, and everything else comes into alignment. Almost just thinking of yourself as a pillar, like you're holding up the world. Okay? So be real tight up top. So these are the things you want to keep in mind on the thruster. Thanks for joining us today. See you next time.